Here's a walkthrough of the fantasy environment, so let me just start by playing it. So you start with a copy of the exit room. So this is basically the same room that we saw before. The player is looking basically what would be equivalent towards the lower room if you followed the standard design. This is the dummy door this time, so that's the one that doesn't work. And then this is the blueprint door that you made, basically copied. The only difference is you have to make sure that it's locked to set to false so that it opens. You don't want the key message or anything, and you can go back in. So that part is the same, but we didn't build anything on the outside of it. So I used some of the castle pieces and actually scaled them up, and then I used some of the dungeon pieces as well. So you can see that's the same wall we used before, and the door frame piece is the same. But then I added the turrets and the different pieces around it, and we might be able to peek in up here. And then I put a big slab across the top because it was a little messy. But then I made sure that you can walk around the entire thing, and there's no way to accidentally get in or to see out. So it took me a while to build this. And if you're going to do your own thing, the recommendation is figure out where you want the player to start, get the player start in place. Oh, I got stuck. Get the exit room in place, and then build around it gradually is the recommendation. So there, once you come in, you can see I have some buildings. So this is just a little village. Just a simple fence here. I actually had to remove, I have the notes, there was one tree that I had to remove while I was building this. And so I have different buildings. This one is called the shop. It's made out of, there's a top story, a bottom story piece, an extension, a door, and a sign. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And then I added the wheel and the two crates. The crates are the same. I just flipped the one on the x-axis. And then we come over here. Here's the manor building. There's a hay cart prop. And you can see that this is a similar setup where there's 2 tower pieces. There's one main piece, and then there's a front piece and a door. And then there's a smaller house over here. This is literally one piece. It's the same as the top of the shop, but I changed the material, the color, and then there's a well and added a door. It's the same door to it. And then this is a mill. This uses a different modular piece, and the tower and the bottom round room are the same. And then I added some fencing. This is the same piece over and over. There's a little bit of an overlap you could see right there, but it's pretty subtle, so I just left it alone. This one is designed different than the other fence piece, which doesn't have a rail on the far left side, so you can overlap it. And then I added a few tombstones into that. And then let's see what else. I got the road sign. There's really nothing over here. This we're just kind of keeping open. And you can kind of come in and navigate through the space. To talk about the cobblestones, so this is a single piece that repeats. And the cobblestone looks a little strange with the green, so I actually grabbed the dirt. And the thing with the dirt is the dirt piece basically coincides with the ground. So I had to adjust its position a little and overlap it. So it's basically a tile of dirt, a tile of cobblestone, and then at the end there's these long, this is actually one single long stretched out stone piece just to kind of give a border. And then these are little rocks actually from inside the dungeon kit there to build that. So I built that out, the walkway. And then I have a barrel here, another wheel, same crate. Here's an open crate, here's a barrel, and here's some firewood, and here is the little cemetery area from the back. So that's the setup for the revised fantasy environment. So I want to look a little bit about how this is all structured. So I have one basically object that's called buildings, and then each of the individual buildings is set up. Keep is the most complicated one. That's the one that has the exit and everything. And let me turn off some of these things so you can see how the base of this is built. Actually, if I just get all this, that should be enough. So you can see here is literally the exit room that we had before, copied it again, took out the inside, and at that point then I had to clean up the seams, and that's where the rest of the tower and all those pieces comes from. So that's probably the most complicated item here. And then let's see what other ones. So the manor, this is the manor. That's simply just made out of these basic pieces. So you start with the main room. There's the tower pieces and the extension and the door. Mill, similar. We got 3 pieces for that, or 4 because the door we got the base, the top, the door, and the top of the tower. And then I just have a bunch of props. You can see a lot of stuff disappears. You could associate these with the different buildings if you wanted to. But the props help to just give it, you can see without the props, it's pretty kind of static and visually boring. So I added the props to give more variety and just visual interest, and also while you're moving around, there's other things to look at and to notice. And obviously you could spend a lot of time on this. I just kind of did some basic just to kind of create some visual grouping. And then finally we have the shop, which is the last building. And that's a similar thing where that has the extension, it has the lower part, it has the upper part, and like I said, this and this are the same, it's just that it has a different material. So that's set up. And then that's basically all the items. Now the sky, we've done the sky before, so we got our clouds still. And the lighting, I actually grouped it all together and made it part of the sky. That's up to you. You can or cannot do it that way. And then the terrain, we've already had things like the grass, the ground, but I didn't have those all grouped before. So now the grass and the ground pieces and the rocks and the trees are all grouped together. And also included in that is the walkway. So that's one new group that's added to that. And just to show you, I already mentioned kind of how this was built, but just to show you the walkway. So there's a cobblestone piece, you can see right here. And then there's the dirt piece as well. Yeah. There's a dirt piece, and then the dirt piece has a position of 1, and the scale is down 0.1, so it doesn't intersect. But then it's located at 1, so it's up off the ground, and that's important. And the cobblestone piece is on top of it, and then each of these is just a long skinny piece, and then this is the piece at the end, which each of those, and that just kind of helps to clean it up. There's a couple issues like the way that it intersects off the side of some of the buildings, but for the most part, no one's going to notice it. It's pretty subtle. So that's all the new details added to the fantasy exterior fantasy level.